You're listening to 12 Hats Radio, your local on social, and on this week's episode, have we grown tired of macro influencers? That's coming up after the news. I'd just like to make an announcement of the launch of my new podcast workshop called Find Your Audio Spark, the podcast workshop for dreamers and beginners. It's held here at Space Cube on the 24th of March 2020 from 10 a.m. Tickets are on sale now and early bird prices do run until the 10th of March. For further information, please click on the link below. And as a guest for all my listeners in the Perth area, use the code word HATTER and you'll get 5% off the ticket price. So look out for Find Your Audio Spark, the workshop for dreamers and beginners. Good morning, it's Friday, 14th of February 2020. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. As you might be aware, for all my news segments now, I'm starting to do some reviews. And today is no exception. I'm going to review Bitmoji TV. You know what? Ever since 1988, when I was a wee nipper, my favourite film was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And deep down, the inner 6-year-old in me wants to live in a cartoon. Fast forward 32 years later, and thanks to Snapchat, now I can. And in case you're wondering, Bitmoji is those avatars you create that you can share across your social media. They're a lot of fun, and I certainly use them, and I think quite a lot of my colleagues do as well. Bitmoji TV is a little bit zany. It does appeal to Gen Z, 21 and under. It also appeals to the big kids at heart. And I quite find it. If you don't know what it is, you'll see your avatar being brought to life, and it just goes for a sort of like an anthology of many cartoons. It's like one episode, and it's like your avatar and your friends are starring in each little segment, and the scenes change from time to time. It's quite astonishing, really. And it's, remember those books where you choose your own adventure, or you fill in those forms and the story seems to be revolving around you? It is sort of like that. You can't really choose your scenes and direct the cartoon itself, but it's a lot of fun seeing you in cartoon form playing out from scene to scene. And as I said, it appeals for those who are 21 and under and those who are big kids at heart. Ultimately, I think this will give TikTok a run for its money. Snapchat had to do something. It lost so much market share over the past year. The biggest audience now for Snapchat is primarily sits in the US. Outside the US, it's not seeing real growth, and this is probably a step forward of them trying to bounce back and recover. And ultimately, if you're a marketer, it's probably a little commercial value, but if you want to tell us a commercial story, you want to appeal to a younger audience, I'll have a look at it and play around, especially if you want to try and be seen as down with the kids. I'll give it 3.5 stars. I use and recommend Buzzsprout for hosting this podcast. Why? Because they are far and by the way, the easiest way to get into major platforms such as Apple. And always pays to have that level of support in your corner. Are you thinking of setting up your own podcast or like to migrate one over? Well, for all my listeners, if you make the switch today and sign up for a paid plan, you'll receive a $20 US Amazon gift voucher, and you'll help me out as well. Everybody wins. The link is attached below in the description. This is following up on an article I shared on LinkedIn earlier this month. It's coming from Social Media Today. It poses the question, are we as marketers getting tired of paying for macro influencers? And the short answer is yes. Compared to where things were back in 2017, 2018, we're not getting as value for money as we once were with them. Partly due to the engagement rates are down and hiding of the likes on Instagram and Facebook, but evidence for that isn't too much. So forget about macro influencers unless you're a really big brand and you can afford, $500,000 per Instagram post. The smart investment for most startups and the savvy business owner is in nano or micro influencers. In case you're wondering, a nano influencer have small niche communities of around 1,000 to 5,000 people, and it depends on the platform. I mean, YouTube, you're looking anything less than 5,000. For Instagram, you look from between 2,500 to 10,000. TikTok, you're looking at 5,000 to 50,000, and these numbers are coming from Business Insider. The going rate in Australian dollars at the moment for a nano influencer is around $71 per blog, $150 per image, and $170 per vlog. For a more professional YouTube video, you're looking at around about $467. This is coming from the Search Engine Journal. I've converted these over from US dollars into Australian dollars. Again, these present much more value for money. And where the value lies? In the captive audience. Higher engagement rates, and you get more bang for your buck. And not to mention the virality of the nano influencers posts, and it gets shared in their community. As well on Instagram as a rule of thumb. And this is also has got me thinking, we all rave about unicorns and everything like that, but is it time we look out for zebras? I'm thinking zebras got nothing to do with this, but you look at the definition of what is a zebra startup, and I think rules can be applied to influencers, because they're a local, they're all about quality, and they can be a sustainable growth. They can scale up with your business. And I'll be covering a lot more about what's a unicorn and what is a zebra in next week's episode. But don't get too bogged down with that. And the key word here for picking out a nano and a micro influencer is sustainability. It's growth as opposed to disruption. And perhaps the next frontier of influencers are podcasters. eMarketer predicts by 2021 worldwide, $1 billion will be spent on podcast advertising. And if you got 1,000 to 5,000 downloads already, you could claim that you're a nano influencer status. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be charging the same rates as a YouTuber or a business to do a sponsored story or a shout out. This is ways we can have a growth mindset as podcasters that will enable us to grow our personal brand. I also believe the way that the whole influencer marketing is handled, there needs to be a few small revolutions for it to really keep pace with the 2020s. My idea is that by using the power of blockchain is have a decentralized market that allows local businesses to reach local creatives and local influencers. At the moment, there is not that much. You have to either go for an agency if you're a podcaster, you have to go into Podcorn if you want to get some advertising, and you're competing against a cast of thousands for like 12 spots, and it is going to be a very competitive streak. You also got Patreon, and by the way, please subscribe to my Patreon package. But that's really for the creative to set. What I'm talking about is more of a stronger affiliate marketplace that enables two like-minded businesses and creatives to come together and create a beautiful relationship. And this way we can disrupt the disruptors. And what I mean the disruptors, the tech giants. People can say to me, Facebook is dying. And you know what will kill Facebook more is the loss of revenue from advertising dollars. Got to think very Art of War, Sun Tzu. Their strength is also their vulnerability. If we can somehow distribute those marketing dollars into the people that need it the most, we would not have any starving artists. We will not have influencers who are influencers by day and wait tables at night. We can make a fairer and equal system. And this is my challenge for you, my listener. Now think critically and come up with a great idea. If you are a blockchain expert, please leave me a line. I am willing and open to discuss getting this project off the ground. #Project Awesome. Let's do something incredible. Let's build a movement that is bottom up and can distribute advertising dollars fairly. And let's make some small changes to the way we handle influencers going into this new decade. This is the Cat with the 12 hats, signing out. You want to get straight to the point? Then consider podcast advertising. Did you know the quickest way to your brain is through your ears? That's why audio content is so powerful. Podcast advertising is cheaper than radio advertising. You've got a captive audience that matches the brand and is very cost effective. So inquire at 12hatsmedialab.com.au today to get your business out there to a much broader captive audience. This is the Cat with the 12 hats signing out.